Good night. Good night. It's nighttime. Good night. Ignore the paper that's on the wall. It is 9 something. So, the title for today, I don't really know what I'm going to title it, but we are going to talk about reaping and sowing. Reaping and sowing, mainly from a bad sense. We may get a good sense in there. Mainly from a bad sense, so I may just talk about rebellion in itself. Okay, so reaping and sowing. I may title it reaping and sowing. So yes, we're going to talk about reaping and sowing tonight. Reaping and sowing. And that's a very basic topic. Very basic. If you sow something, you're going to reap it. But here's so I know everybody has heard the if you sow the wind, you reap the whirlwind kind of thing. And that's very true. That's very true. I mean, you may have, okay, I lied to my mother, not me, but I'm just giving an example. I lied to my mom. I told her that I didn't take the pencil when I did take the pencil. Or, okay, no. I lied to my mom. I told her I didn't take the money when I did take her money out of her purse. I only took $5 though. One thing you have to understand is when you sow something, what you get from it from being sowed is big. It's massive. It's bigger than the seed. So you may have stolen $5 from your mother, but you sowing it, you're gonna get $500 stolen from you, or $5,000 stolen from you. However, the math works with God, but you're not just gonna get $5 stolen from you. Because if I sow an apple seed, I'm not gonna just get an apple seed. I'm gonna get an apple tree with multiple seeds. So if I plant one seed, one small seed, I'm gonna get an apple tree. If you, okay, all I did was steal $5. Yeah, but if you sow something $5, okay. You stole $5, you're going to get $500 stolen from you, or $5,000, however the math works with God. But if you sow the wind, you will reap the whirlwind. So this aspect of sowing and reaping. So if you look at the kings of Israel, they sowed rebellion. So they rebelled against the house of David. You may say, well, God orchestrated it. Yeah, because it was in their hearts. We talked about that in the men's class. That was already in their hearts to rebel. They already had a dislike for Solomon. They already had a dislike for David. There was so many rebellions, so many uprisings when it came down to David. Well, not so many. Two main ones. But, there's a lot of disobedience. So it was already in their hearts to rebel. And if you realize it, there was no king that really just reigned, his line reigned, except for Jehu. Jehu's the only king that had a descendant's reign after him. Other than that, all the kings, it was rebellion after rebellion after rebellion. You may say, why? Because rebellion breeds rebellion, but just in a greater way. So, okay, you rebelled against this king. Now, for the rest of Israel's duration of being a separate country, is going to just be rebellion until the Lord just completely wipes them away. Because Israel were doing bad things. Judah didn't have that many rebellions. There's only 2 kings that were assassinated. You got the guy Abijah, I believe. Abijah was assassinated, and then the guy who killed Jehoiada's son, Joash, I think that was his name. He was assassinated. But other than that, the kings weren't assassinated in Judah. And there wasn't no rebellions like that. Because they didn't rebel. They were not a rebellious people. They rebelled against God, but they didn't sow that, so they didn't reap that. Israel sowed that, so they reaped it. So with Israel, and so in that case for us, you got to pay attention to the things that you do, because it's gonna come back. You may say karma, like not necessarily. This is called sowing and reaping. The Word of God does not talk about karma. We're talking about sowing and reaping. If you sow something bad, you're going to reap something worse. So, okay, yeah, all I did was do this. Yes, but you're going to sow this. Well, you may say, you may have the desire to grow up and have a family. You may have the desire. And you're a male, okay? You're a male. You used to sneak out of your window and sneak into other girls' windows and do things you shouldn't do. Say, I never got a girl pregnant. Okay, yes. When you get older, there's gonna be a guy that's gonna sneak in your daughter's bedroom window because you sowed that. You're gonna reap that. Sam has never sowed that, so Sam doesn't have to reap that. I don't look forward to that ever happening. Ever. Because as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. But you, whoever you are, if you did that, you're going to reap that. Unless you ask God to forgive you and ask him to, pluck up that which was sown. You can do that. It's going to be up to his discretion whether he plucks it up or not. But you have that in your future. But what you sow, you're going to reap. So if and it doesn't just have to be rebellion. You can sow lust. You can sow anything. The Word of God says, if you sow to the flesh, you're going to reap corruption. So everybody wants to go to heaven. But in order for you to go to heaven, you have to be perfect. But if all you're doing is sowing to your flesh, you're not going to be perfect, and then you're not going to go to heaven. So, okay, what does it look like? Okay, I could be praying right now, or I could be doing something productive, yet I'm just sitting on the couch watching TV. I could be doing this, yet I'm doing that. I'm sowing to the flesh. Not saying watching TV necessarily is bad, but that's really just for your flesh. You just need some entertainment. So you're going to sit down and watch TV. You may say, Sam, don't you watch TV? And I tell you to mind your business, okay? I do as God tells me. I judge as God tells me, so my judgment is right. So yes, if you sow to the flesh, you're going to reap corruption. Me, okay, I'll throw myself out there. This morning I have a mandate by the Lord to get up at a specific time. This morning I didn't meet that. I got up and I was like, man, I'm tired. So I didn't get up at the time appointed. I just sowed to the flesh. Sleep isn't going to benefit me spiritually necessarily. Yes, it's a benefit. You got to sleep. Jesus slept when he was on this planet. But God says, okay, it's time for you to get up and sow to the spirit. Okay, but I'm tired, so I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to ignore my alarm and I'm just going to go to bed. Go back to sleep. And I was like, okay. And for my day, it didn't go bad, but you see, I didn't preach earlier. I'm doing this at night when I could be in the bed, preparing for the next day. But because I didn't get my priorities in order, here I am right now doing it. Because God says, hey, I want you to do this today. Like, Lord, but it's late. I want to go to bed so that I can wake up for prayer tomorrow. Oh, no. You better wake up for prayer tomorrow and you're going to do this. Like, oh, okay. So if you sow to the flesh, you're going to reap corruption. So if I'm like, okay, yes, I could be doing something productive. But instead, I'd rather do this. I'd rather scroll on Instagram and look at the reels. Look at the crazy things you guys do and just be like, I can't believe this. Lord, I pray that you will judge them. Like, I'm just sowing to the flesh. Sam, the light of your body is the eye. Don't look at that stuff. Yeah, but that's sin. Exactly. So just don't look. So for myself, I may go on there. I'm looking for some fake Christians on here. That's my main. Usually that's what I'm doing. I want to look for somebody to help. Who can I help? Who can I help? Who can I start a conversation with? Most of the people, they don't really want to have a conversation. They want to argue. I'm not trying to argue. I'm trying to have a conversation. So I'll go in there. Who can I preach to? And I see the inappropriate things. And people be like, why does Sam always talk about lust and perversion and all that? Because that's what I see. And so that's going to affect me. And I need to get out the anger that builds up in me. Yes, you may say, you get angry at that? Yes, I get angry. There's a righteous, there's a holy anger that I get, and I can't very well come over there and whip you with cords like Jesus, and flip your camera and stuff like that. I can't do that. So what am I going to do? I'm going to just preach with, a level of aggression that the Lord's like, I don't really want you to have that level of aggression. So just don't look at it. But Lord, I got to see what the new trends are so that I can know what these Christians, because when I see stuff like that looks worldly. It looks worldly, but what trend is that? I'm going to go find out. Oh, that is worldly. Lord's like, you didn't have to watch, because while I'm scrolling to find the trend, I'm seeing other things. I'm sowing to my flesh. I'm sowing to the anger that's going to build up. Yes, it may be holy anger, but if I can avoid being angry, it's best to just not be angry. So why put yourself in that position? So that's me. But what are ways that you sow to the flesh? What are ways that you sow to the flesh? And what are some ways that you reap corruption? Okay, you may not even be saved. So you're constantly sowing to the flesh. Yeah, I'm gonna go over here and do this. I'm gonna go over here and do that. You're constantly sowing to the flesh. So you're gonna reap corruption. This is sowing and reaping. If you sow to the spirit, you're gonna reap things of the spirit. So if I sow some joy, I'm gonna reap the fruit of joy. I'm going to get the fruit of my labor. If I'm working hard in prayer, Lord, I'm this way. I'm sowing stuff, but I'm this way. Those are like, okay, that's, yep. Lord, I need patience, and I need grace, and I need power. That's going to grow. And when it grows, you're like, wow. So if you hear my voice right now, it's a little bit hoarse. It's a little bit hoarse. But earlier today, I was sitting in prayer. And it's a funny story now that I talk about it. But my voice was really jacked up from last night's worship. My voice was really messed. Like I was talking like this, kind of. My voice was messed up. My voice was messed up. And so because my voice was messed up, I had to work harder to talk because my voice wasn't coming out. So I had to work a little harder. My voice had to work a little harder to produce a sound. So I'm sitting in prayer and I just began to like, okay, let me exercise some faith. So I began to just command my voice to come and then talk to the Lord about it coming, praying in the Spirit, and then command my voice to come, talk to the Lord about doing it, and then praying in the Spirit. So it was just, I was doing that, and then I began to feel like, man, this isn't working. And then, like, man, what is going on? What's going on? And then I began to just contemplate, like, man, I'm just going to get up and get out. I'm going to go find something else to do. Maybe God just doesn't want to do it. Or, and then I began to think about the message that we had from last night. Like, you're required to stay there until God does something. Like, right. And I'm fighting with myself. Like, no, I just want to get out now. I'm tired. I'm tired of sitting here just doing this. I'm tired. It was like, no, keep going. Keep praying for me to give you back your voice. Keep praying. Like, okay. And I'm going to keep going. I believe you can do it. I believe you can. And as I began to raise my voice, because I was going to just scream until my voice returned. My mother works from home, and she's right. All right, I'm sorry. That accident. So I was going to just scream from here, but, she works from home. She's right across the hallway. And so it would, hinder her. So I didn't do that. I just began to just lift my voice up, like right here. And then as I began to do that and just pray, I began to feel my voice. I began to hear my voice more clearly, and I was using less strain to talk. And I was like, wow, like, thank you, Holy Ghost. And now I'm talking. I'm not putting much force into my voice. My voice is now at this point regular. I can talk low, and you can still hear something. So before it was like, if I'm talking like this, all you're going to hear is like that. So, but the Lord, he restored my voice. Now, he didn't restore it fully, but I did see his hand in that. I did see his hand. And so, but you got to sow. I have to get patience for that. And I'm sowing to my faith. I'm sowing into my faith. By doing that, I'm sowing into my faith. So when something, and my faith is going to grow. It's going to grow. And then once I'm past this level and I'm like, okay, I can start making up bigger things happen. Because my faith has grown. And my power has grown. The power that God has given me is going to become stronger. I'm going to become stronger and more powerful in Jesus Christ. And then I'm going to be able to do even greater things. Excuse me. So that's why you have to sow to the Spirit. And it works both ways. If you sow to the flesh, you'll reap corruption in a big way. But if you sow to the Spirit, you're going to reap mighty things. You're going to reap good things. You're going to reap spiritual things, but in a big way. So yes, you may preach to one person. I sowed this one seed. The person got saved. And okay, now this person is actually called to be an evangelist. So they're going to go and bring in that person. And that person's going to go bring in that person. So this one evangelist is going to bring in 100 people. And that one person over there is going to bring in another 100. That person right there is going to bring in another 100. If each of those 100 people brought in 100 people, all those are your crowns. Yes, they're going to get crowns for the people they bring in. But you ministered to this one guy. You sowed that one seed, and that one guy went out and did this. And now that one guy is in charge of a whole church. You brought him in, so all of what the work he's doing, you're getting paid for that. So those guys up there, Paul, Peter, those guys are getting paid time off. They put in work, and now we're here doing work. That's why Jesus has so many crowns. Jesus came in for those 3 years. Well, he wasn't just here for 3 years. But the 3 years he did ministry, he was there for those 3 years doing ministry. He started something and he left. Left it. He got some guys, okay, and they're bringing in guys too. And then now those guys are going. Now it's us. Okay, those guys are still getting stuff for the stuff that we're doing. Paid time off. So I need to work up a lot. Sam needs to sow a lot. I need to sow a lot. Because it just takes for one. It just takes one. It just takes one. And one, you guys, I know there's somebody out there that's going to say that's mightily anointed. Like, oh, that person's anointed. And that person's going to go over there and do that. And bring in 1 million people. But guess what? Sam brought you in. So Sam's about to get paid for that. Not that you're going to get payment for what you did. But Sam's about to get, and if I go and you're still here, or another generation still here, but you know, I put in some work, I'm up there, you know, oh, you saying we just built you a new house over there, a new mansion, yeah, because that guy, remember Tyler that you brought in, Tyler? Yes. Tyler brought in Shannon, and Shannon went and did this, and then that brother married this sister, and then they're apostles. They own churches over here, over there. Really? So yeah, we got you another mansion over there, and we're working on your other building over there. Like, oh, yeah, here's your new crown. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. While I'm sipping on a pina colada, I'm up there, like, you know, with my legs folded with sunglasses. You know, I'm in rest. I'm in rest. You know, because I put in work. You sow a small seed, you're going to reap a tree. So sowing and reaping, when you sow to the Spirit and you're doing work and you're sowing in that way, when that thing grows, it's going to be mighty. And you're going to be happy, like, wow. And it was like, because you sowed that. But, I mean, come on now. So you got to get to work. You can't be very well sitting on your couch, scratching your belly, looking at the TV. You can't be in there. You know, you got to get up, get off your rump, and find some work to do. If you're not saved, today is the day of salvation. Today, if you hear his voice, don't harden your hearts. And if you're a Christian and you're not doing anything, I want to tell you right now that you are sowing to the flesh by doing nothing. By doing nothing, you are sowing to the flesh. Either you're doing something or you're doing nothing. Doing nothing as a Christian is laziness. And if you're being lazy, you're sowing to the flesh. And if you're sowing to the flesh, you're going to reap corruption. So you need to get up and get some work done. You know, everybody wants a vacation. Like, man, you know, people want a vacation. Like, you want a vacation. You don't even work. You live on vacation. Go out there and find somebody to preach to. Go break something in the spirit. Go do something. Your job may not be to preach. Your job may be to be an intercessor, but are you doing that? Are you interceding for people? If the answer is no, then you need to find some work. Because if you sow, you will reap. If you sow, you will reap what you sow. So if I'm sowing hard work, if I'm sowing labor, if I'm working hard in the spirit, if I'm breaking a sweat doing this work, I'm going to reap something amazing. I'm going to reap something amazing. And I'm going to be able to say, and I'm going to hear those words, well done, well done. Yes. And then he gets to welcome me into rest. Like, yes, enter into the joy of your Lord. Enter into my rest. And I get to go and rest. I get to rest. Everybody wants to hear well done. But nobody wants to be done with anything. You want to go and do, oh, let's go to the mall. Oh, no, let's go watch TV. Oh, no, you know that new movie is coming out. Oh, girl, let me show you this new workout. Ooh, let me show you this. I got to get my nails done. Go find some work to do. You're too busy doing mundane things. Not that getting your nails done is a problem. Not that going to go get a new haircut is a problem. Not that going shopping for shoes is a problem. But you need to be working. If you work, then you can eat. Eating doesn't just mean physically, spiritually. You know, God, you're talking to God about problems. Lord, I don't got enough this. Lord, I don't got enough that. God's like, I don't got enough people. I don't got enough laborers. And what are you doing? You're not even in my vineyard. You're in my house sucking up my AC talking about what you don't have. God is tired of that. God is tired of putting in 100% and only getting 2%. God needs to reap what he's sowing. So you need to get up and go do something. You need to go out there and work. You need to worship. You need to pray. You need to break something in the spirit. God needs to reap something God needs to reap what he's sowing. He's putting in 100% into you. He hasn't killed you yet. That's him being merciful. He's been too good for you to just sit on the couch and eat potato chips. You need to go find something to do. Go get to work. And then you'll be able to, Lord, I need this. But if you're not working, don't even go to God. Don't even look at him. Don't even look at him when your account says negative $150. Don't even raise your eyes to the heavens. You need to just, oh man, you need to go and find some work. Go work. Go work. The workman is worthy of his hire. If Jesus can't bless you, it's because you're not working hard enough. You're not working. You're not working. And for my sinners out there, you need to get saved. Because as of right now, you are working. You are working. If you're a sinner, you're working. You're working and you're sowing. You're sowing to the flesh. And so you're going to die and go to hell, and you're going to have a lot of stuff down there too. You may say, what? I'm going to have women in my cage? No, you're going to be the woman in the cage, my man. You're going to be the woman in the cage. You're not going to have a woman in your cage. Those demons are going to have a nice time with you. I just advise you, don't drop the soap. There's nobody to save you down there. You're going to go to hell. So, and you hear me preaching to you. You hear me preaching to you. So if you ignore, if you don't make any intentional decisions to change, you're sowing to the flesh, and you're going to reap some strong corruption, some really bad stuff. And for my Christians, you need to get to work. Find something to do. Get up when the Lord wakes you up in the morning. That's for me too. So Sam, you have to get up when the Lord wakes you up in the morning. Make sure you get up. So I need to get up too. But you need to get up, okay? We're not talking about me. We're talking about you. So if you sow, you will reap it. You will reap what you sow. If you sow to the flesh, you will reap corruption. So we need to sow to the Spirit. Sow to the Spirit so that you can reap things of the Spirit. Sow love, sow joy, sow peace, sow faithfulness, sow gentleness, sow meekness, sow faith, sow temperance, long suffering, all of that. Sow that stuff, and you're going to reap it. You're going to reap it. When you're merciful to other people, when you make mistakes, God's going to be merciful to you because you sow mercy. You're a merciful person. That's why Jesus says to have compassion. Have compassion on people. Pray for those who despitefully use you, because when you mess up, then God's gonna have mercy on you, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it when you get the mercy. So you gotta show some mercy. So get to work. Get to work. You need to sow some righteousness so that you can reap great righteousness, great riches, great spiritual riches. So yes, that is the word of the Lord for tonight. You reap what you sow. God willing, we'll talk within the next 24 hours. In Jesus' name, I love you all.